Eugene. You know, business people are in the process of making wealth, and when they have made wealth, they need to be entertained. For myself, I preserve health when you are wealthy. So Eugene is in the creative industry. He's been able to create jobs, and welcome, Eugene.
Thank you, Dr. Ruto. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, distinguished guests. My name is Eugene Bugwa, and I run a company called DNR Studios. We make television shows, and we sell them to TV stations. We've been around for 9 years now, and we produce television shows for almost all the major broadcasters in Kenya. And now, for the first time, we're also exporting to other markets, and we've just gotten our first international production, which alone employs about 40 people. Your Excellency, at our company, I employ about 50 people on a full-time basis, and an additional 70 or so. And an additional 70 or so on a part-time basis. And you'll be happy to know, Your Excellency, that we are all contributing to our NSSF. Your Excellency, the G20 estimates that by the year 2030, that 10% of the world's GDP will be coming from the creative economy. And one of the things we are happiest about as an industry is that this government has already shown a lot of goodwill to our sector. As of yesterday, a lot of the skill transfer that we get, even for the international production that I mentioned, is from South Africa. And so the measures yesterday are a great, great welcome for us. We are also very excited about the opportunity that the Hustler Fund will bring to our economy, and we are very keen to see how the Film Fund will play in our sector. Your Excellency, we have a few requests as well. We really, in the content space, one of the things that will really help our industry thrive is to have the media houses play more local content, because what this does is it allows us to produce more work, and as we produce more work, we're able to hire more people, and we get better at it, which means we're able to export more. But just to start, we are very appreciative of the measures, but I'm sure we want to engage more and ask for a few other measures. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We want to request that you allow the chamber to organize a bottom. As the Kenya Kwanza program is bottom up. You can see the chamber is real. She's from Eldoret. The two gentlemen are from the Nairobi chapters of the chamber. And this can be replicated across the country. So what we want to humbly request you is to allow Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with your programs in Kenya Kwanza, to organize the bottom of the pyramid and get the 4 million SMEs into activities such as this. Thank you.
Asante sana, Dr. Ruto. With the gracious permission of Your Excellency, I will now invite the Chamber President, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Richard Ngatia. Bwana Ngatia, karibu sana. Your space.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Trade and Investments, Moses Kuria, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me say today, I must say thank you very much for taking time, your busy schedules, to be with us here today and join His Excellency to listen and have a conversation with the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I would also want to acknowledge the PCA Church, and thank you very much for accommodating us today. Governors present, I want to really appreciate you for taking time to be with us here today. I want to also acknowledge the Board of Directors who are here with us. If you don't mind, you can just raise your hands from where you are or stand. Your Excellency, those are the Board of Directors. Thank you very much. I also want to recognize the AGM Planning Committee who have been with us for the last 2 weeks. From wherever you are, feel appreciated. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, it is important for me to introduce to you the National Governing Council of the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I would like them, from wherever you are, you can just stand up very quickly within very few seconds. I can start with the coastal region. Wherever you are, coastal region, please stand up. You're there. Thank you very, very much. If we can have Rift Valley region. Thank you very much. They have come all the way, all the night. The whole night they've been traveling, and thank you very much, Asante. We do have Nyanza region. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, we also do have Western region. Asante sana. Lower Eastern, thank you very much. Upper Eastern, Asante. Do you have Northeastern? Thank you very, very much for coming. And of course, I'm sure we do have Nairobi region. Thank you very much. Have I left anyone? I think no. It is indeed Central. My goodness. I don't know. Your Excellency, I don't know where I'm going to go over the weekend. Thank you very much for coming. Asante sana. I also want to appreciate our sponsors and partners who are here. There's Absa. Absa, you're here. Thank you very, very much. We do have DTB, who are main sponsors. Thank you very much. Tima Sako, I'm sure you're here. Asante sana. And all other sponsors. We do have dignitaries, the diplomatic corps, who are here with us. And we have 14 embassies with us, Your Excellency, who are really supporting us in our cause. Asanteni sana. It is indeed a great honor to speak before you this morning. Your Excellency, it is noteworthy to say that aligning MSMEs with government policies, programs, and initiatives is the surest way to create seamlessness and mutually supportive engagement. With your permission, Your Excellency, allow me to submit to you that as KNCCI, we have already taken the lead on this. The last 2 years have taught us one thing: we must build sustainable and resilient businesses. Many small businesses closed during COVID-19 period and took to digital platforms as an alternative for doing business. In the wake of COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, the MasterCard Foundation, who are here with us, Your Excellency, launched its COVID-19 Recovery and Resilience Program to support businesses to MSMEs. Institutions, individuals, and communities respond to and withstand the impact of the pandemic while strengthening their resilience in the long run. In Kenya, Your Excellency, the MasterCard Foundation partnered with KNCCI, among other organizations, to provide targeted support to informal micro-enterprises that were particularly hard hit by the pandemic. 18,000 KNCCI members, majority women and youth entrepreneurs, received 535 million Kenya shillings collateral and interest-free micro loans, as well as digitally delivered training to sustain their businesses during this difficult period. We delivered and were very successful in this project. Thank you, MasterCard. Overall, the program created new digital channels to reach MSMEs and leveraged existing ones such as M-Pesa. It is estimated that COVID-19 Recovery and Resilience Program sustained nearly 43,000 jobs, of which 44% or 8,700 were held by young people and 84% or 16,500 by women. The loans disbursement officially ended in the year 2021 in May. Your Excellency, as KNCCI, we are in partnership with various development partners who are here with us. For example, AMREF Italia, where we have supported women groups, training and capacity building women. We have partnered with many other development partners and institutions, financial institutions, Equity Bank, where we were able to train over 32,000 hustlers, actually on financial literacy. And I want to thank Equity Bank for that. Absa Bank, Currently, we are engaging in actually sensitizing women and capacity building them on how to approach business and, of course, market access and finance, and how they can be able to be prepared on financial literacy. We believe technology can serve as a force for progress, and therefore, in support of your agenda on the digital superhighway and the creative economy, we propose to support the advancement of science, technology, engineering, art, and math, STEM. As education and educators play a key role in Kenya's success, we feel a STEM for all agenda shall prepare us better for the dynamic changing nature of work. To close the digital divide, pathways to fast-growing technology jobs should include non-traditional programs such as apprenticeships and innovative high school programs that combine academic study with career-focused skills to prepare our workforce for the future of work. And Your Excellency, they have demonstrated, the youth, the hustlers have demonstrated how well they can be able to approach the emerging markets and challenges and opportunities that are available in this African continental free trade area. It is in this regard, in partnership with Trademark East Africa, we have built a digital platform for our members. Additionally, we have embarked on a partnership with Google Kenya to digitize and map 4 million MSMEs or hustlers across the country. A partnership, thank you very much, a partnership with International Chamber of Commerce and UNECA will see us establish a center of entrepreneurship, Your Excellency, which seeks to digitalize 750,000 MSMEs across the Great Lakes region over a period of 3 years in East and Central Africa as well, with Kenya as the hub. And thank you to International Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The social market economy concept promoted free market capitalism while allowing government involvement in creating social policies aims at maintaining the mechanisms of the free market while ensuring social equity by keeping a balance between a high rate of economic growth, low inflation, low levels of unemployment, good working conditions, social welfare and public services using state interventions as well. Your Excellency, we have a youthful population with high expectations of the current and future leadership, looking to their leaders to spearhead them to opportunities where they can earn a decent wage and enjoy a decent living. We will remain a committed, humble, and partner to ensure the Kenya Kwanza Hustler agenda resonates across all our county chambers and drives the economy to a nation forward. Your Excellency, I want to really thank you for taking time to be with us. I can attest to it that in the last 4 years, during my time, we have not sat with the government as the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and we really thank you for coming to listen to us and taking time to have a conversation with our members, potential members and potential partners, development partners as well. Your Excellency, I want to stop there for now, but I really want to thank everyone for being very patient. Asante, and God bless you. Brother here. Allow me to invite just a few speakers who we had prepared to share with you their achievements and also the partnership with us and how they will be able to reorganize and re-engineer themselves so that they can be able to partner with the Kenya Kwanza administration. I want to call upon Equity Bank, MD Gerald, if you're here.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, the Deputy President, Cabinet Secretaries present, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. The equity journey with the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce started back in 2019. And within the last 3 years, we have achieved quite a number of milestones. And I want to share with you some of the milestones that we have created with this partnership, because so far, we've been able to train, and I think the President have mentioned, that 2,000 members of the Chamber of Commerce, where we have given them financial literacy, capacity building, so as to ensure that they manage their businesses in a professional way. Out of that 2,000 members, 28,812 are banking with us, and out of the 28,000, 6,630 have taken loans. And these loans are equivalent to 4.8 billion shillings, which they have invested in their businesses. Your Excellency, we also continue to create market linkages and also support the businesses through trade missions. And in particular, I want to mention last week, we did have 10 US investors who came and interacted with some of the members. And we are happy the Chamber of Commerce President had the opportunity to speak to the members. And mostly these are the SME customers. Other than that, last year, Your Excellency, we managed to take a delegation of 300 businesses from Kenya to DRC. And out of this exposure visit, a number of them were able to establish business opportunities in DRC. And this is where our businesses will be able to do business in DRC, and also DRC were able to identify some of the opportunities. We have lined up quite a number of trade missions, locally, regionally, and also internationally. And we believe this is going to really impact heavily on the SME sector. Your Excellency, after the COVID, we as Equity Bank, we came together and we asked ourselves, what is it that we need to do? And we came up with a Marshall Plan. And in this Marshall Plan is actually cutting across all the regions we are operating in, and I believe Kenya is going to be the biggest beneficiary. We have set aside $7 billion US, equivalent to almost 840 billion Kenya shillings, to support the businesses. And out of that, the impact we are projecting is that it's going to create 5 million businesses across the region, and every business we are projecting is going to create another 5 individual businesses that are going to benefit individuals. So in total, about 25 million businesses are going to benefit. Out of that, Your Excellency, we are also projecting that 50 million jobs will be created across the region. And I believe this is going to have a big impact. We as Equity Bank are really very focused to support SME, because we believe SME are the greatest drivers of our economy. Again, Your Excellency, we have products specifically for the SME. We have working capital solutions. We have trade finance solutions. We have CapEx solution to take care of our customers. So I'm extending an invitation to all the SME customers to reach out to our branches so that we can be able to support them financially. Your Excellency, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gerald. I just want to ask the next speakers to observe time. His Excellency has humbly requested we spend with him 1.5 hours, and we have taken a long time already. So I'll ask you to spend not more than 2 minutes. I want to call the manager of Trademark East Africa, This is Ahmed Farah, who again, I said, are great partners, and they have been able to provide us with a platform where we can be able to reach out to everyone digitally. And also the certificates of origin that we issue to the exporters, they have been able to support us with the platform and that digital system. Thank you.
Thank you, Bwanangatia. The chief guest is Excellency Dr. William Ruto, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces of the Republic of Kenya, the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, Honorable Cabinet Secretary, Trade, Investments and Industry, Bwana Moses Kuria, Honorable Permanent Secretaries present, leadership and the board of the chambers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It really indeed is an honor and a great privilege for me to be here today. 12 years ago, with the support of the government of Kenya, our development partners and implementing partners, Trademark East Africa embarked on a mission to promote prosperity through trade in the region. We have, over the years, delivered programs in Kenya and across Eastern Horn of Africa that reduce time and cost of trading and improve business environment for private sector to thrive and support businesses to actively participate in trade to improve their livelihoods. Your Excellency, our Kenya program, the largest in Trademark East Africa, is strategic because we recognize that Kenya is a major gateway to East Africa and a regional hub for trade, finance, communication, and transportation services. In the last 12 years, Your Excellency, Trademark East Africa has made some considerable contribution to trade in Kenya and the region. Allow me to enumerate some of those achievements, sir. We invested in the Kenya Ports Authority to increase the capacity and improve efficiency of operations at the Port of Mombasa. We also invested in construction of access roads to and from the Port of Mombasa, port gate expansions, berth upgrades, and supply of mobile harbor cranes and eco hoppers. We supported, as you're aware, Your Excellency, the construction and operationalization of one-stop border posts at Busia and Taveta to reduce the time taken to cross the borders. We also supported operationalization of Moyale border posts through the investments in the integrated border management process. Your Excellency, we will be delighted to partner with you and your administration and the East Africa partner states to realize your vision of no-stop borders with our neighboring countries. To increase efficiency of custom processes at KRA, we worked with KRA to implement the integrated customs management system. Also, through implementation of the single window information trade system portals, we supported automation of import and export processes for various government ministries and agencies. This greatly reduced transaction costs and time for businesses. Your Excellency, we will continue working closely with your administration, the private sector, and civil societies to advocate and initiate programs that will enhance countries' business environments, competitiveness to promote export-led economic growth. On our forward look, through our export readiness training program, we are targeting MSMEs to help them deliver marketable products on a global scale at competitive prices. Awareness-raising initiatives will be undertaken on the benefits of exporting and to provide a general understanding of exporting as a means of interesting more firms to export. Cognizant of this, and towards my conclusion, the key focus of this meeting, which is the Chamber AGM, I would like to appreciate some milestones the partnership between Trademark East Africa and the Chamber has yielded over the years. From 2015 to 2021, we supported the Chamber technically and financially to develop an online web portal management information system aimed at improving the management and administration of certificates of origin and managing Chamber membership. The system was rolled out in 2015 and has been operational since then. Also, Trademark East Africa and the Chamber embarked on a second phase of that aimed at enhancing system functionalities to further enhance efficiency in the operations of the Chamber by adopting more affordable, simplified, and accessible technologies through mobile enhancement. This phase placed emphasis on rolling out automated services to county chambers, thereby reaching out to more members and traders, trading communities in Kenya. Your Excellency, this demonstrates Trademark's commitment to supporting activities that will power trade not only in Kenya but across the region. Allow me to take this opportunity to pledge our continued support to the Government of Kenya, East Africa Community Partner States, and the Africa Continental Free Trade Area to facilitate projects that will enhance trade, improve the business environment, and enhance business competitiveness in Kenya, the EAC, and Africa at large. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I now would like to take the opportunity to invite Absa Bank Kenya CEO Yusuf Lemar. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, our President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I think I must start by congratulating Your Excellency. Yesterday was a moment of so much joy to all of us as a country, ourselves when we were at KICC, to listen to your speed of execution, something that has been troubling this community in terms of business with South Africa. In 1 minute, in one summary, of all the achievements that you did yesterday, removal of the visa to South Africa, amazing, well done. Removal of all those trade barriers. I can imagine yourself with the team last night at State House, moving with speed and executing and removing the trade barrier. That is amazing for me. So I start by saying thank you. This business community, there's nothing else we need apart from just creating that environment where business can be able to thrive. From Absa, we have gone around the country recently to 10 counties. We've met so many people, the delegates that you're seeing here. We've listened to the SMEs. We've seen what are the big challenges that you're facing, and we are responding. We are going to support you together with what the government is doing. We are coming to you to say we can be able to give you unsecured lending to the tune of 10 million shillings. We are coming to you and saying for the business to be able to thrive, LPO financing, invoice discounting to the tune of 50 million shillings. And we are coming to you, especially the ladies, knowing the challenges that you're having, creating a kitty of about 50 billion shillings to be able to support your business, making sure that we can be able to give you opportunities to markets, information in basic things like bookkeeping, and also giving you coaches, mentors that can be able to make sure that your business is thriving. We went to the counties and met quite a number of governors. And the governors told us in support of the president's Hustler Fund, which is about 50 billion shillings, which the president has promised by around December, you'll be able to come and make some announcements on it. The governors themselves, they've created their own revolving fund. And they've asked us, can you be able to help us in terms of managing the revolving fund and be able to see what you can be able to do from an Absa perspective? We've moved on, we've committed. Whatever revolving fund that the different counties are going to come up with, we're going to match that and be able to make sure that this gets to the allocated, SMEs. Mine is brief, Your Excellency. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, together with, I'm sure, the entire nation. We always say, if you create a good environment for the business, the private sector is going to thrive, the public sector is going to thrive, the economy is definitely going to thrive as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We also have a representative in refrigerated houses and aggregated centers to power, export, and manufacturing. If you're here, please make your way. Are you here? Please raise your hand so that I can see you. Okay, I'll straight away go to our main sponsor, who is Diamond Trust Bank Group CEO, Nasin Devji. Please come and share with us issues on financial.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, dignitaries present, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the board, management, and staff of Diamond Trust Bank, I'm pleased to join you all here this morning, and I would like to thank the KNCCI for giving us this opportunity to be together. At DTB, we have a great appreciation of the business community in Kenya, specifically the micro, small, and medium enterprises. Our commitment is to support Kenyan micro, small, medium enterprises to advance and to ensure that the ordinary mwananchi can readily reach us for any of their financial needs. Your Excellency, we have a special focus on women and the youth as underrepresented segments in business. In line with this, we recently unveiled the DTB Zawadi savings account, a savings product specifically targeted towards women-owned and led businesses and groups, encouraging saving and earning interest. We have partnered with the Rose Women's Foundation to roll out an income-generating and capacity-building program for women in Kenya's low-income settlements. In the markets, we have launched DTB Sokoni, a lending program for traders up to Kenya shillings 200,000. Each trader receives a free payment till and gains access to loans based on their discipline in collection of funds and record keeping. As we move further into the digital age, many of our youth-owned businesses prefer to interact completely digitally. As such, we are developing Infinity, a phone banking application product that will equip micro, small, and medium enterprise owners with all the tools they need to run their business, both on the street and online. Your Excellency, one of the key factors that limits micro, small, and medium enterprises' growth is a lack of financial literacy and access to services. In response, we have a financial literacy training program that builds the capacity across all areas of business. To ensure easy access to finance, we're expanding our physical presence and will add 40 branches to our network by the end of 2023. Ultimately, our expansion efforts are driven by our determination to be the bank that walks the journey with micro and small businesses, women and the youth, from one level to the next, as these businesses have a direct impact in the community, households, and livelihoods of Kenyans. In conclusion, I want to reassure you that the hustler nation can bank with DTB and bank on DTB for support at all levels of personal and business growth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, DTB. We have a representative on services. Mr. Omari, are you here? Mr. Omari? All right. Okay, we'll go now to the next session, which I will leave now to the protocol team.
Thank you. I wish to most humbly request the Chamber President to present Patron certificate to His Excellency the President. May I most kindly invite Your Excellency to receive the Patron certificate from the Chamber President. And there we have it, His Excellency the President being presented with the Patron certificate as the patron, the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Tumpigie makofi, tumpongeze, Your Excellency. Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Karibu. I invite Your Excellencies to take our seats. Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you. And now, congratulatory messages. We briefly watch the screens for congratulatory messages.
On behalf of the International Chamber of Commerce and its Centers of Entrepreneurship, we'd like to congratulate His Excellency William Ruto, the President of Kenya, for becoming the new patron of the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We've been working very closely with the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry to deliver the ICC Centers of Entrepreneurship based in Nairobi, not only for the Kenyan business, but also for the East African businesses. We want to make sure that Kenya is leading the way on bringing more foreign investment for the region and also preparing the SMEs, the small business in the region, to take full advantage of the African Free Trade Continental Area, which is one of the largest trade agreements in the planet. We're very confident that through the partnerships between the public and the private sector, we can deliver not only the best environment for business in the region, but also make sure that we will prepare the next generation of entrepreneurs, especially the cross-border entrepreneurs that will make full advantage of the new policies and the trade integration in the region. So I'm very happy to be here, and thank you so much for this opportunity, with many thanks to the leadership of the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, President Richard Ngatia, and also everyone who's been working to deliver the ICC Centers of Entrepreneurship in the region. Thank you so much.
Greetings, everyone. I am Julian Kassam, the director of the ICC World Chambers Federation, speaking from our global headquarters in Paris. On behalf of Nicolas Uribe, chair of the ICC World Chambers Federation, I would like to convey the hearty congratulations from WCF to the Kenyan National Chamber of Commerce and Industry on the occasion of its annual general meeting and the conferment of its incoming patron president, William Ruto. We're proud of the progress made by the KNCCI as a premier chamber in Africa and the incredible job they have done in advocacy, economic diplomacy, and SME support. The participation of KNCCI in the activities of the International Chamber of Commerce and its World Chambers Federation is going from strength to strength, and we're proud to count you as one of our distinguished members. Our best regards go to KNCCI President Mr. Richard Ngatia, past President Kiprono Kitoni, and Virginia Waringi from the KNCCI team. May you have success in the years to come, and you can count on the support of the ICC World Chambers Federation. Thank you very much.
Tumpongeze kwa makofi, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. If you allow me, Your Excellency, I will invite Terian Chebet for a very quick interactive session. Maria Terian, kindly.
Your Excellency says Kenya has an estimated overall small business count of just over 10 million businesses, and that's depending on the data that you choose to decide on, with about 200 businesses registered daily in the year 2020. And as you will recall, that was when the height of COVID was. That says a lot about our collective entrepreneurial spirit as a people, our people's passion for business, and the opportunities they see within the business environment. The hustlers here, Your Excellency, are all looking forward to the 50 billion shilling Hustler Fund, which you have mentioned will kick off on the 1st of December. And we know that you are a man of your word. From the earlier presentations, you can see that these hustlers, Your Excellency, are not begging for free money. They only want cheaper and more accessible credit. This session will be an interactive session with your fellow hustlers, Your Excellency. They want to share with you their dreams for their businesses and how your government can catapult their business and impact even more. I'd like to welcome up on stage the President for Chamber, Mr. Richard Ngatia, who will be joining us to help coordinate this particular session. And our hustlers today joining us on stage are Mr. Elmikdad Hassan, who is an agricultural value chain exporter. We have Engineer Charles Kalomba. Please quickly make your way up on stage, who is representing the Juakali sector, and Ms. Esther Mwendwa, who is a hustler manufacturer. And of course, Your Excellency, you are also an entrepreneur. We've had your stories about starting your business many years ago. We would love you to join us up on stage, Your Excellency, President Ruto. All right, thank you so much. I'd like to start by asking the younger hustlers represented up on stage to begin by sharing a little bit about your story for His Excellency to understand.
His Excellency.
May we kindly get a microphone?
Yes. His Excellency, President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, distinguished guests and gentlemen, and all protocols observed, good morning. My name is Elmikdad Hassan Nandwa. I run Fawaki Import and Export Limited. I'm just a 23-year-old agripreneur, and we do export of fresh fruits and vegetables from Kenya to the world. We export avocados, mangoes, and pineapples, and every other fruit which we are able to export and licensed to do so. At the moment, we employ more than 50 workers, and we work with more than 20 farmers, both large scale and small scale. Right now, we are doing 196 tons monthly, and we have orders for more than 600 tons monthly, but due to challenges young hustlers like me face, we are unable to meet the orders because of things to do with finance. Basically, for us to be able to do that, we need a big amount of money, which is around 70 million, of which a young hustler like me, it's difficult to get such an amount. Basically, for us to start this business, we wanted to do something that we are able to also earn from, but at the same time, to also help our economy grow, whereby we believe that in exports, we bring money to our country, whereby we are also able to help the population, whereby you can see the families that we are able to feed, the farmers that we are able to support. At the same time, there are some challenges that we also face as exporters, which of recent is the case that exporters lost in court, whereby the levy that we pay was increased from 30 cents per kg, and right at the moment we are paying 0.25% of the invoice value, which is kind of expensive for us, basically because the 30 cents per kg that we used to pay it quarterly, but at the moment now the 0.25%, we have to pay it in advance, which is almost 12,000. So for example, if a young entrepreneur wants to start working, he doesn't have the money, it's difficult for him to be able to access the market and to be able to export. Another thing is the delayed VAT refunds, whereby we believe as exporters we are supposed to be supported by the government, whereby if we can have a system whereby we can get refunded our VAT faster or even immediately as other countries do it, we'll be able to increase the volumes that we do, because with that VAT refund, we're able now to increase the volumes that we do and do our work as expected. Another challenge basically in the international markets is a non-payment from clients, whereby you export to a client, but basically they don't do according to your agreement. And because the consignment is in another country, when you even go to the other country to open a case, you lose it because basically they'll favor their national. So we have to do something about that. Maybe we can put a restriction. Basically, all Kenyan produce of a certain type goes at a certain price, and for one to export, maybe they have to do it you have to show that you've been paid already, which will compel even all the importers to work on the same one. We as Kenyans will not lose money in the market.
Thank you, Hassan. You can stop it for there now, and then we'll come back to you in a moment. I would like to hear a little bit more from the others, and when we will also engage in a little bit more detail once we have the introduction from the other panelists. Wendwa, let's come to you. Please introduce your business to us.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Deputy President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Esther Ndenya, and I am in the manufacturing sector, food production value addition. I work for a company called NTH Limited, and mine is a story of a hobby turned into a business venture out of adversity. From the fashion industry, wearing high heels, to the manufacturing sector, wearing gumboots now. I lost a business that I had built for 15 years during the COVID pandemic, and that's how I found myself in the manufacturing sector. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mwendwa. Kindly.
Of Kenya, Excellency David President, all protocols observed. My name is Engineer Charles Kalomba. Your Excellency, I'm here to talk about the story of Juakali, which is you've been really a supporter of Juakali for a very good time. Your Excellency, the Juakali sector was established in this country way back in 1986. Your Excellency, this is the only sector that really have been named in the Bible, in the book of Exodus. That one I know you are a staunch Christian, and you read the Bible severally. So if you read Exodus 31 from verse 1 to 10, you will see that this is a sector that God gave skills, and He gave the spirit, and He gave the knowledge, and He gave the understanding. So when the Bible says in Hosea chapter 6, 4, 5, verse 6, that people perish because they lack knowledge, there's only one sector that doesn't perish, because they have the knowledge. And where is this knowledge coming from? That Juakali, everybody in this country who has been to school, Your Excellency, I don't know whether you did it. You went to school with a box, and it's a Juakali box. It's a metal box. And this metal box has remained for my children and for my grandchildren. And it is only coming from Juakali, Your Excellency. So this is a sector that has survived in this economy for a very long time. And when the President Moi discovered this sector, when we took him to India, he saw what is happening in India, Your Excellency. We came and we are running so many things in this country with Juakali. Your Excellency, we have some challenges that we are facing in the Juakali sector. And of course, when you came to Bomas of Kenya, Your Excellency, in 2014, we were honored by you to come to be the chief guest, because we are going to be very ashamed, because a conference that we initiated to bring all the governors together, and one of the things that we are doing, this sector cuts across the entire economy. So when you look up at agriculture, look at energy, look at everywhere, like building, we have a lot of things that we are doing, Your Excellency. Today, we had requested that we shall play one of the images where we have done a hustler tractor. We have produced a hustler tractor, which is a cannibalized car. It's just a car that has been cannibalized into a tractor to release the oxen from the farm to go and do other assignments. because it is only in Africa
Wow.
where commercialization of agriculture is through an oxen. So this tractor that we shall present to you as an image, you will see it is a tractor that will do 10 functions. And we are happy, Your Excellency, we are talking about how do we run away from fossil fuel. This tractor will be a solution to that because it's going to use biofuel, which the farmer can farm for energy in the tractor. So I think for us, because she's a press on time, I can speak and speak and speak. I know you know that, but we need to limit time because of your busy schedule. So I think if the tractor will be ready, you will see it. And then, of course, from what you have a lot of scrap vehicles in this country. You have millions of scraps. And if this is going to be your donation as a father of this sector, you will say, take these vehicles, give me tractors, and the counties can enjoy tractors, and they can produce more. And of course, the many functions that this tractor will do, we shall produce. At the end of the day, Your Excellency, we shall be presenting to you a few other projects, which are presidential projects that are incomplete. And yet, there is a very huge demand for some commodities from this country to international market because of those projects. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kalumba. President Gatia?
All right, thank you very much. I think now we'll just go straight to the panel session. Your Excellency, I want to start with you. During the COP27, Your Excellency, you spoke on a carbon market system that directly benefits communities. And the question then would be, how shall your government integrate the MSMEs to the climate resilience plan?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ngatia. And it is a huge privilege for me to be in this panel and more importantly, to be in this session with the Chamber. I want to say a couple of things by way of introduction. I am a great believer in the Chamber of Commerce. When a few years ago, I came across Kiprono Kitony, he knows because he's here. I encouraged him to be part of the Chamber because I saw the way the Chamber was going. It had become a hostage of people who did not have the capacity to run a proper Chamber of Commerce. I am happy that today we have a Chamber of Commerce that we can say is fit for purpose and working with the government, with all the sectors to project the right image of our country. I want to say congratulations to the Chamber. You are doing a good job. Secondly, I agree with you 100% that the Chamber can work with the government to organize the bottom. And what I have seen this morning is actually a testimony and a confirmation that indeed, with the Chamber, we can leverage on your network to be able to organize the bottom of the pyramid, to get the many innovators, the many creators, the many entrepreneurs, the majority of the 4 million micro enterprises to get to a level where they can help us create jobs and they can help us create wealth. I have listened very carefully to Magdalene, to Trevor, who spoke earlier, to Eugene, who spoke earlier, and they present and they represent our future. The one asset that we have in Kenya, a very rare asset, is our human capital. We may not have gold, we may not have silver and all the other things, but we have the people of Kenya, and that is the asset that we have. And that is the asset that is going to turn around our nation. And I am happy that we are working together to sharpen, to model, and to shape the human capital that we have through training, through education. And I am very confident that going into the future, from all our learning institutions, training institutions. We should be able to build the human capital that is going to make the difference in our country. That is already it is making. That's one asset. The other asset, apart from sharpening that asset through education and training, we need to fund. And I am very happy that we are having a conversation and even listening to my great exporter here. The constraint that has been around our human capital and especially our micro and medium enterprises has been the concept of financing, affordable financing. I have listened to the banks who spoke to us here, great people from Equity to Absa to DTP here. I really want to persuade our financial institutions, yes, to be flexible in how they lend their finances, but also to consider the aspect of cost. What is the cost of that financing? I would have been very happy to hear Equity Bank say, we're going to lend to SMEs on a single-digit interest rate. And I really want to challenge our financial institutions with tremendous respect that it is possible and it is time that we inspired our micro and small enterprises by ensuring they have access to affordable credit. The government of Kenya is going to work with you as we fashion the Hustler Fund. I want to promise the country that the Hustler Fund is going to be on a single-digit interest rate, and progressively, for the smaller enterprises, we will begin with just a simple fee without interest, because we want to fire the bottom of the pyramid. That is where the engine of our economy is. The other item, listening to all these people, apart from finance, is technology. We must leverage on technology to be able to be efficient and effective. And that is why, if you see our manifesto, we talked largely about SMEs, because we know that's where the jewel is. And secondly, we talked about affordable finance. And thirdly, we talked about a superhighway. Because technology, listening to Magdalene, I am very confident that employment is going to be ready and available if we can ensure that we spread technology, we have financing, and that is why we talked about the superhighway. The superhighway is supposed to do two things: to make sure that the country is connected, and I'm happy again to announce here that the real last mile in technology is the gadget. And already we are working with our telcos, our telecommunication sector, so that we can have a smartphone that is going to be less than 5,000 shillings. A smartphone that can do everything that you want. A smartphone that can make sure, today the cheapest smartphone is 10,000, maybe 15,000. We want to see whether we can get it to $30 or $40. And I want to promise the country that in the next 8 to 12 months, we will have the cheapest smartphone in Africa, manufactured in Kenya. And finally, the concept of the superhighway is to also make it cost-effective to trade on and to work on the digital space. And again, let me use this forum to say we have about 15% of government services on the digital platform. If you look at our manifesto, we said we are going to move 80% of all government services on the digital platform. Again, let me announce here that we are working on it, and by God's grace, between 6 and 12 months, we will have moved 90% of all government services onto the digital platform and ensure that from the comfort of your home, you can work with the government. You can get your licenses. You can get every government service online without having to travel to any office, without having to go to any park. And again, to use the digital platform to also collect our taxes. So, good people listening to each and every one of you here, the government of Kenya stands ready and available to work with you. And I have heard what my good brother here has said. I thought I have done a long introduction. Let me just say, answer your question.
Yes.
On the matter of climate change, and that's why we are saying technology is going to give us the opportunity to be able to deal with matters climate change. I'm going to encourage my brother from the Juakali that we are going to look at them, not just doing this, the tractor that uses renewable energy. We also want to see whether we can move all our border guys onto clean energy platform. There is absolutely no reason why we should not begin to walk the journey to e-mobility. All our vehicles, all our border guys should be on e-mobility. We should be able to convert all the borders we have so that they are electric and they can use renewable energy, solar, they can use wind energy to be able to charge, and we can progressively eliminate fossil fuels. And that is how the Juakali Texas is going to come on board.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Maybe I just go back to Mr. Kalomba. Maybe you can just explain briefly how the Juakali would be able to work with the sector of energy.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The Juakali has always been very ready from birth. And we know very well, we prayed, and God brought us a person who thinks like us. And in energy, we have some projects, very simple projects that we have done across the country. And we have piloted in 5 counties. And these are called community power centers, where energy, wind, biogas, generation, cogeneration is working together with solar and biofuel, with battery banks for productive use in those centers, with a digital village where the youth can go and join the rest of the world to do certain things. And we've done it in Nandi, in Himaki, in Kapchurwai. We've done it in Bomet, in Kitoben. We have done it in Siaya, in a place called Uhuru. We have done it in Changara, in Busia. And the last one we've done in Ngando, in Kirinyaga. And they are models. But the problem has been, as we do them as models, because there are several other things that we can talk about models that we have done. The lack of political goodwill, because it's a country that we have come up with a benchmark of finish politics, start politics immediately. But development delays. So I think for us, because of the huge knowledge that we have acquired from God himself, we are supporting some institutions. But the challenge we are having is that, like, for example, when the sector pushed for ban of importation of furniture for public office, we came up with a project on bamboo. So I think we shall be talking about how we can make furniture locally using bamboo because of conversion. And I think on energy, we're doing a lot of briquetting from waste. We're doing a lot of biogas generation. Like, for example, if you go to Naivasha, you'll find, Your Excellency, there is a team that was having 100 tons of waste of baby corn and cabbage as waste. Today, they are producing biogas, and you can package the biogas to use on automotive. So as we talk about the issues of clean energy and all these things, we need to go that route. And Juakali is leading the way. One of the challenges we're having, and we want to unlock is institutional synergy. Because there are so many institutions in Kenya, especially the agencies of the government, that listen, they get agitated, they don't want even to involve the Juakali into their system. So you find even their boards, they lack representation of Juakali. Then the common manufacturing facility, which we have been pursuing the chamber to support us, where quality is supposed to be a measure for a Juakali product. When you talk about a wheelbarrow, the whole of East Africa is buying wheelbarrows from Kenya. The whole of all the jikos, and I'm told if you have a kitchen without a Juakali jiko, it's not a complete kitchen. Yes, so all the jikos are made in Kenya. But the quality and the finish. Your Excellency, I know you'll be with us in Kampala, and Excellency, the Deputy President may be with us in Kampala again. We are having a regional exhibition, and Juakali in Kenya is leading the whole region. And the chairman of Musea is here, Mureu, and he's the chairman of Musea, who is supposed to be leading the process in Kampala. So I think we are leading the region, and we want the region to really benefit from us. So
thank you very much, Terian.
Perhaps a final question, Your Excellency. Yesterday you talked very passionately about Kenyans accessing the South African market. Your Minister for Trade talked about the fact that it is smaller businesses that are doing the majority of exports, meaning that, which explains why we are only exporting products worth about $38 million, yet they are exporting, they're sending products here worth $650 million. What word do you have for the business people that are here today, both from the small business sector and the medium sector?
Let me first speak to the issue raised by Juakali. You talked about political goodwill. So, me sitting here, I am a bundle of political goodwill. So, at least one issue is out of the way. The second issue is the common user facility, which you have talked about. And you are so right. When we are doing the housing, for example, we said we are going to connect our Juakali sector to our TVET institutions, because in TVET we have a lot of equipment. We spend almost 25-30 billion shillings to equip our TVETs. And we are now saying there must be a working formula between the Juakali and our TVETs so that the Juakali can leverage on the huge resources and equipment that we have in our Juakali to professionalize their work. But if you look at our manifesto, we have said that we are going to work with the Juakali, link them up to our TVET institutions, and create a common user facility where we have the most modern of equipments to be shared by different people in the Juakali sector so that we can elevate the quality and the specifications of the products that they produce. So you are spot on, and I want to confirm to you that is a plan we intend to implement. And it's going to cover the textile sector, the leather sector, the wood sector, the metal sector. All those sectors will be covered in our common user facility that we are going to equip, either in every county to begin with, then we will move to the sub-county, and then we will move to the Juakali sheds, which can be shared by different Juakali players, because it's expensive for one person to buy. But once we put a common user facility under the management of the Juakali, they can share in the common user facility for all the equipment that they need to be able to elevate the quality of their products to the correct level. On the item that was mentioned by Terian, yesterday, we not only unlocked matters to do with travel, we also unlocked and eliminated barriers. Number one, we've had a 10-year ban on our meat products accessing the South African market. We have committed ourselves, and yesterday in the evening we got a brief from the ministers concerned, but by December this year, the ban will be lifted so that our products can access the South African market. We cannot sell our tea to South Africa We have a challenge selling our pineapples. We have a challenge selling our avocados, as was mentioned by this young man. The issue was that we are operating on different phytosanitary requirements. We have said we are going to harmonize our phytosanitary regulations so that by January we can be able to access the South African market as they access our market. That way we can begin to bring down the difference in the trade levels between our two countries. As was said, they are selling to our country $650 million US. We are selling only $40 million to the South African market. And yet, the primary or the premium products that we'll be selling to South Africa have barriers. One of them is tea, and I persuaded the President of South Africa that by January, February next year, we should be able to export our tea to South Africa. And I do that for all the other countries, including our neighbors, and I want to persuade all of us here, whether you are in fintech, whether you are in agro-processing, whether you are in the Jogali sector, we must focus our market beyond Kenya. And that is why we should leverage on the East African community, and more importantly, we should leverage on the infrastructure given to us by the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Africa, ladies and gentlemen, is our market for our tea, for our coffee, for our milk, for our fintech, for all the products that produce. We must raise our horizon to the 1.2 billion people in the African continent. And we must target the 2.7 trillion GDP and make some of it Kenyan GDP. And I am ready, I am willing, and the government of Kenya is going to work with each and every one of you in your sectors so that we can scale up. I like the words of Magdalene. She said, her enterprise is scalable and her enterprise can be expanded. You know, I really like that. And that should be the mindset that we have as Kenyans.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very, very much, Your Excellency. I would want to go straight to Esther. And you've listened to His Excellency, and he's demonstrated on how his government will facilitate the private sector. In your view, Esther, what would you want the government or the private sector to do, particularly in value chain and the agro-processing, in terms of sustainability?
First, Your Excellency, as you know, the manufacturing is quite capital intensive to set a manufacturing plant here. And it's also a challenge for the hustlers to be able to access financing. I'm calling myself an hustler manufacturer because I got into manufacturing food production with no food technology, knowledge at all. I am a product of the Kenya Industrial Research Institute. First, some of the challenges that we have is malt licensing. We have to pay so many licenses to be able to set up, plus their fees. At least you need 400,000 to be able to set up a factory in Kenya. I don't know how many startups will be able to afford that. Some of these licenses can be grouped together and it can be made cheaper. Annually, for renewals, we need at least 200,000. That is quite expensive for a startup. Another thing, it's on the taxes. It's like getting a baby and expecting this baby to feed herself in less than a year. So we are requesting for moratoriums or a grace period to be able to get on our feet so that we can be able to pay taxes without default. And another thing, we are also having very good fabricators locally. We also need the fabricators to be empowered financially so that we can be able to access machinery with without really spending so much, and they can also be able to give us credit terms. In terms of financing, we would like to see a grace period given to any facilities that is extended to us in terms of loans for us to be able to stabilize before we start paying, and if at least we can be off from 6 months and above, because manufacturing is quite requiring. So these are some of the things, and also sensitizing just the consumers on the Buy Kenya, Build Kenya initiative, so that we can also be able to support the products that we manufacture here, because I believe we are competitive in terms of packaging. We've really upped our game in branding, and we are good to compete with the international market. A month ago, I was in Germany, and I looked at what is there, and the products that we are having out there internationally are as good as the products that we are manufacturing here and branding here. So we need support in those areas. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On that note, we'd like to close our interactive session. Our hustlers, thank you so much for sharing your challenges as well as your successes. Yes, Your Excellency.
Esther deserves a response.
Yes.
Because she has spoken to the heart of value addition and agro-processing and manufacturing.
Yes.
And it is a big component of how we are going to move our products up the value chain. We cannot continue to sell unprocessed, semi-processed, or poorly processed goods in our market. We must up our game, and we must support people like Esther who venture into adding value to our products for local consumption and even for export. This is a subject we have discussed extensively, and that is the reason why I hired Moses Kuria. Moses Kuria, can you respond to Esther? Come here. Just come to the podium there. Because Esther wants to know how we're going to support them. What is your KCD going to do? What is, how are we?
Thank you, Your Excellency. Esther, I hope you know the level of unemployment that there is in Kenya. So please don't add to it by getting me fired. But because I don't want to get fired, Esther, I want to tell you that first, using our Kenya Industrial Research Development Institute, we are now running up to 50 to 100 clients, SME clients whom we are incubating there. From our Kenya Industrial Estate, we have another 50. We are now going to roll out these incubations to every county. And that is the basis. That is the basis of our common user facilities. I have received already a lot of requests, and people are offering land, and I want to thank governors, Your Excellency. Governor of Elegeo Marakwet has offered me land. Governor of Laikipia has offered me land. Governor of Nyeri, actually, where on Saturday I was giving out relief food in Kieni, we have agreed on 150 acres of land available from national government, where we will put up our first pilot common user facility. So I want to tell Esther and all our SME manufacturers, at least you'll have a home. And let me also reiterate, Your Excellency, we don't have a problem of money at all, at all, at all. I've had a discussion with banks. I've had a discussion with the World Bank and other development partners. The problem is what you have alluded to and what President Gatti has alluded to, that the bottom is not organized. We've left our SMEs out there like mushrooms in the world. And what I'm going to do is to work with Esther and all the SME manufacturers, SME exporters, put them together and make them ready to receive money. Because money is one thing, and having an organized architecture that can be able to receive money is another thing. So, Esther, I hope I've convinced you so you convince my boss. And let me add here, when some counties are giving me land to do common user facilities, other counties are saying they want land, they want to encourage squatting on public land. And that difference, Your Excellency, will start to show. I'm not in a mood to fight. I've fought enough in my life. But you start to see the difference between progressive counties that want to be partner to us and Kenya Kwanza government in developing the manufacturing agenda, the export agenda for the benefit of our people. And counties which make a wrong turn and take us to the past where we were fighting and being antagonistic, you are going to see them start to lag behind others. When that happens, don't blame it on witchcraft. Thank you, Excellency.
Thank you. Thank you, Moses. Just to add, I intentionally decided to have a ministry for SMEs and cooperatives. Because for a very long time, SMEs have been relegated to some department in some corner. And by so doing, sometimes they get forgotten. I now have a minister who wakes up and sleeps SMEs and cooperatives. To do two things: to make sure that SMEs are organized, to make sure that SMEs are made business ready, and to make sure that SMEs are made funding ready, so that we can catapult SMEs to the next level, where we create big corporations out of small SMEs. For the record, Equity Bank, that is telling us today they have $780 billion or something like that, was once upon a time a small SME somewhere in Moranga. So the small SMEs that you see here today, the outfit run by Esther and all the other small and micro enterprises here, have the capacity to be huge corporations if they get a hand up or a leg up, and if they get the necessary support. And I want to promise you that that is why I am sitting here, to give you assurance that we are going to work with you so that we can grow our SME sector to help us create wealth in our country.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Waziri Kuria, it seems your job is secure.
Yes, Your Excellency, as we close, there is a question that was posed from the floor, and this is because of the issue of climate change. In the world today, you'll find industrialists actually have exhausted their carbon credit. Now, in Kenya today, because of the drought, we are trying to raise funds so that we can support certain areas. What is it that we can be able to do to utilize the open space that we have in this country so that we can be able to leverage on carbon credit?
Precisely, that's why I attended a session in COP27, where we were discussing about how to grow, how to expand, and how to make carbon credit markets much more accessible, simpler, and carbon credit funding, not to fund intermediaries, but to find the actual people who do the real work on the ground. You may want to know that at the moment, 80% of all carbon credit financing end up with intermediaries, auditors, assessors, and the rest of them. The people who bear the brunt and who do the hard work of making sure that our environment is safe get the short end of the stick all the time. So in this particular arrangement, and that is why we were having this session, shortly, we are going to have a law that will govern matters to do with carbon credit, so that to make sure that it is transparent and it is accessible to the people who actually should benefit from that carbon credit regime. So the Ministry of Agriculture and all the other ministries that are related, including forestry, we're going to put it together so that we can deal with the challenge of climate change and unlock financing that can help us mitigate and provide for adaptation mechanisms for the climate change effects that we are suffering as a nation.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, panelists, ladies and gentlemen. I think we get to a close with that session, but we as the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we want to commit to you and to your government, Your Excellency, that we shall reorganize and we shall reorganize ourselves so that we can be able to partner with the Kenya Kwanza administration. Thank you very much. Terian.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Our panelists, you may now take your seats. And I'll hand over to Mr. Wanjohi.
Thank you very much. We may be seated, please. With the gracious permission of Your Excellency, just before I invite Cabinet Secretary, I will request just 1 minute for Mr. Kiprono Kitoni and Mr. Kitone kindly, just 2 minutes kindly. And after that, Minister Moses Kuria will take up the program.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Chamber President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Allow me first to say that this is a proud moment for the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Mr. President, in 2007, during our AGM in Kakamega, which was scattered by the police at 11 a.m., if you came to the field after the event, there were sticks and stones. However, those sticks and stones did not break our bones, and I'm glad that we lived to see this day today, when we have an AGM that brings together the real practitioners of the private sector. Mr. President, thank you. You walked this journey with us. Not once, when you were Deputy President, not once did we come to you to help the business community and you refused. You helped us when we were putting in our bid for the World Chamber Congress. I brought business people to you many times. And thank you, Mr. President, for keeping the faith. One day I came to your office, at the DP's office, to tell you that we had given up the fight to try and take over the chamber. And I remember we had lunch in your office, and when you came into the lunchroom, you said to me, "Umefukuza wakora, umetook over." And I told you I was actually coming to resign, but I couldn't tell you because you told me, go back and finish the job. Let me just say quickly, Mr. President, that capital is a coward. Global capital seeks to come to Kenya. There's too much money in the world seeking a home where it can earn a return. What the business community globally and locally wants is predictability, is reliability, is seriousness in approach. And I think in the last 1 month since you took over, the business community has had more time with leadership than in the last 10 years. And if that's anything to go by, Mr. President, I think we are in for good times. Mr. President, finally, let me just say, we appreciate very much your choice of Moses Kuria as our Cabinet Secretary. He's engaged, he's focused, he's resourceful. The other day, he told the PS, some of the CEOs in his ministry, that atawaendesha kama gari ya miraa. And some of them wanted to resign, but I think we know we are in for a time when we have to work as a country to lift and raise all the boats. Mr. President, I think what these people want is just an environment that is predictable. What these people want, and Mr. President, the KRA has been trying to dig too deep into our pockets. We need the chamber and such like bodies that can actually expand the tax base in order to allow you to fulfill the agenda of helping this country. Mr. President, you promised us 10 IPOs at the NSC. So I'll conclude by encouraging all of you SMEs, open CDS accounts. Do not miss the IPOs. And finally, I commit to you, Mr. President, that we, the business leaders of this country, we will work single-handedly to make your agenda a success. Thank you very much, sir.
Waziri Kaidle, thank you.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Chairman, President of the Chamber, the Board of KNCCI, Chamber members, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, I want to thank you yet again because of your continued commitment to our business and economic agenda. Your presence here today is yet another manifestation that what we told the people of this country, that the economy will be at the heart of our administration, is actually becoming a reality. All your trips that you have made out there are in the names of business. Even when you went to COP27 for the environment, I hear you are more interested about carbon trading than about the environment. Because the economy is really at the heart of your administration. And we want to thank you. And even here locally, I want to apologize because these people, Kiprono, myself, Gatia, we've put you from one event to the other. We really apologize, and we promise to do it again. Because we have to continue with this until people get to understand that really the economy is at the heart of this government. And I'm pleased to hear one of the young men who are presenting there talk about how they are going to contribute to the NSSF. It means that message of yours is getting somewhere. It may appear difficult, but tunashika. So just be patient with us. Tutaelewa tu pole pole. So just the same way you fed us on the bottom-up agenda until now it has become a national anthem. The Hustler Fund has become a national anthem. So even the other things we're trying to do, like mobilizing savings and organizing the bottom, tutaelewa. Like yourself, I'm a fan of the chamber. I've worked out there for close to a decade. And out there, when you buy a car, you need to get a stamp from the Chamber of Commerce. When you buy a cat, you need to get a stamp from the Chamber of Commerce. When I got my children, before I get them from the maternity, I need a stamp from the Chamber of Commerce. And I would want to see a situation whereby our chamber, because chambers are recognized all over the world, and having our chamber recognized, and I'm going to work with the chamber here, with your permission, to actually see whether we can be able to entrench the chamber in some form of legislation so that it's anchored somewhere within the law. And to give it a framework through which your government and the chamber can be able to engage in a structured and formal manner. 15 years ago, former president, your predecessor, Uhuru Kenyatta, when he became Minister for Trade, and I was his advisor, and he asked me, where are we going to start in this trade ministry where all the time somebody has to be up there in the air from one global meeting to the other? And at that time, the chamber was not attractive at all. There were fights every day. And I did one thing, I drafted for him a letter. We took it to the UNDP with a certain Mr. Charles Kahoto. I don't know whether Charles Kahoto is here. Yeah? And Mr. Mureu here. We drafted together 15 years ago. And we started the process of reforming. The UNDP supported us, gave us a grant of 50 million shillings to support the chamber. And then we had a Kofi Annan movement where we brought a gentleman called Githere and one Kiprono Kitoni, and we reconciled them. And the rest is history, and that is why we are here we are today. So we thank you, and I want to tell you that within the chamber, kama uko hapa hujapotea, there was only one small problem because the mandate which we wrote for them did not include doing politics. And hapo katikati walipotelea wakaanza kufanya siasa. Lakini wameniambia two things, that hata hii uchaguzi imeisha, some of them was not supporting us. But they have told me two things. One, they have told me that they are glad that their side that they were supporting did not win. And two, they have promised me that going forward, they will leave politics to politicians and work to build the chamber so that we can be able to work together. And I want to promise them that even us, as Kenya Kwanza government, we are not going to ask of you to do politics on our behalf. All we are going to ask of you is please manage business, help the SMEs, help to grow our export, help to grow our manufacturing. Our politics we can do for ourselves. The project of reforming the chamber that Trademark East Africa is undertaking to be able to organize the bottom is a shared agenda with our government. My ministry is involved in that particular initiative. I want to thank Trademark East Africa who are here, Ahmed Farah, we've had many meetings, Mr. Ngatia, and I want to say that that project has got the full support of the government of Kenya to reform, to register every SME, because we keep on arguing. The other day, we had having a meeting with yourself, Your Excellency, with KRA, and one, Dr. Devendi, said we have got 4 million SMEs, but the enterprises registered for VAT are close to 300,000. And I want to see a situation whereby after we are done with this project of digitization of the chamber, we actually donate that list and become an agent, a partner of KRA, because we are going to do everything possible to improve the business environment. We are going to go to every length to support manufacturing, create common user facilities, merge our licenses regime, but also we want the chamber to be our partner in matters of tax collection. And it's not tax collection by force. We want to move to a regime of voluntary tax collection. And they have told me that they have no problem paying taxes. The only problem is that we let the taxes pile up, mpaka siku ya kulipa inakuwa sasa story ingine. So under that program, we are also going to work on a situation whereby every day KRA will be going home with their money and leaving the businessman with his money. So hakuna mtu anakibiza mwingine. Yeah? So because when the tax is paid installment every day, what we are calling the tax at source, and do it on a voluntary basis, then we are going to meet each other and be friends. Your Excellency, we are successfully piloted that in the betting industry. For the last 2 weeks, every day, the company that is in that pilot scheme, every day they are going home happy because KRA has been collecting its taxes daily basis, real time, and they have been doing their business. And the betting industry is telling me that they are happy now because they are sure hakuna mtu atawakimbiza. So we want to extend that and work with these members of the chamber so that we can be able to reform that. Export-led growth is another of our core areas as Kenya Kwanza government. And as I've said, we are going to have common user facilities, not just for manufacturing, but for export within our counties. But even further than that, and I want to announce further what we announced yesterday when we met President Ramaphosa, that we are going to build warehouses and common user facilities, not just in our counties, but also in our key markets. We are going to build warehouses in Johannesburg, in Cape Town. Just this morning, I had a wonderful meeting with our ambassador in DRC who is here. So we are building 3 warehouses, one in Kinshasa, one in Goma, and one in Lubumbashi. What that means, even if you don't know any customer in DRC, just come to our warehouses, place your goods there, using e-commerce and other techniques. We are going to sell on your behalf and just remit money to you. You don't need to know anyone. And we are, in our first phase, we are going to also to extend that to Dubai and also to the UAE. Your Excellency, I have seen our friends from the stock market are here, and I don't want to lose that opportunity by saying, one, we want to have a new conversation. The old conversation based on borrowing, based on debt, based on budget deficit belong to the old Kenya. I have a new passport I'm giving these people, and Gatia was among the first people to receive it, what we are calling the new passport. The new passport to a new conversation based on opportunities, based on investment, based on trade, and based on shared prosperity. Sio kuongea mambo ya madeni kila wakati. I'm not saying that debts are not good. I've seen bankers here and don't want to be blacklisted. But we are saying at the same time, let's have a new conversation. And I'm discussing with the chamber how they are going to join our common investment pool for the private sector, what we are calling Sanduku, for partnering on our affordable housing and other projects. We have agreed with the Nairobi Stock Exchange that they will take up on our behalf our commodities exchange, so that partnering with the Kenya National Trading Corporation, we can be able now to start trading goods on the NSE the same way that the shares are being traded, and that will lead to a very efficient market. Finally, Your Excellency, because you have done so much for us, we have a gift for you today. And that gift, which these people know very well, we have a facility known as the Joint Loans Board, and most of these people are partakers of that Joint Loans Board. The Joint Loans Board, so far, has lent, we have got close to R1 billion out there, and I'm holding their titles, their driving licenses. I want to return them to them. In return, they will join the Hustlers Fund. So when you are counting your customers for the Hustlers Fund, count that already you have got R1 billion out there, which these people will come and convert. And in addition to that, and I've discussed this with my colleague Simon Cherugui, we have got $250 million that has not been dispensed. So that money, I've just told by close of business, when we have got the regulatory framework, must be transferred to the Hustlers Fund. So not starting the Hustlers Fund, we have no excuse now. Pesa iko, nimekupatia pesa leo. And also, the trade officers who are dealing with this Joint Loans Board are going to be retrained on dispensing the Hustlers Fund. And we are donating to Simon Cherugui 2 trade officers in every county. Each county will have 2 trade officers. Already they are on government payroll, and they'll be the nucleus of the people who will be working with the chamber and with our SMEs to give them the education and the training they require to make the Hustler Fund a success. Nowadays, everybody's talking about the Hustlers Fund, including very big manufacturers, very big people who I didn't even know that they know that a Hustler exists. But because of your continuous education, everybody is singing the same song of the Hustler, and now because of our donation, we can be able to kick off. And with those very, very, very few words, let me take this opportunity to invite my good friend, my boss, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, to address and invite the President.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Commander-in-Chief of our Defense Forces, Dr. William Ruto, CS Moses Kuria, the leadership of the National Chamber in Commerce. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm happy and delighted to be here to accompany my boss in a forum where his heart is. I had different engagements, but last night he asked me to accompany him here because he wants witnesses around him as we turn around the economy of this country. And Your Excellency, you have instructed those of us who serve under you that you want a complete turnaround of the work ethics in this great republic. And you have told us so many times, and we have heard, that you want every leader who serves under you to keep time so that we save time and make money. You have told us that is unacceptable in your government for any leader who serves under you to keep the business community waiting even for 5 minutes. And that is why we were here on time, because that is the way things are being done in this country. Your Excellency, you have indicated, and rightly so, that your administration has brought a new management style of continuous engagement with stakeholders. And that is why for the last 1 month, You have engaged the Kenya Association of Manufacturers. You are here today. You are the Nairobi Securities Exchange. And you have created time for the creators of wealth. These people, Your Excellency, to be truthful, had been incited against us. They were told we are bad people, that we don't mean well for business, that we only care about the hustlers. They even went ahead to threaten them that we can take away their wealth and the balance we give it to the hustlers. These people now know that we are the people they needed around this country. The problem of Kenya for many years is just one. Professors of political science, the greatest economists, can write many things about the problems of Kenya. The problem of Kenya has been one of leadership. And you people know, for your companies to succeed, it must start with the CEO. If you get it right at that level, you are good. True or false? What Kenya needed was a CEO who knows what he's doing, who has time, who has the energy, who has the passion, and who is willing to be a team leader of this great country. And I want to say, much as you people were incited against us and you almost gotten lost, the ordinary Kenyan knew the kind of leadership this country needed. But be as it may, from where I sit, listening to the president every day, his leadership revolves around investors, entrepreneurs, the business people, and creating the right environment for business to thrive and for creating wealth. Never again in this country, under the Ruto administration, will government ever criminalize enterprise, because it almost brought this country to a halt, where people who have no idea about business, people who have no idea about investments, people who have no idea about banking, they were let loose all over the economy and almost brought this country to a halt. That will not happen again. Finally, Your Excellency, we are having a serious crisis because of the adverse effects of climate change. 4.3 million Kenyans are facing starvation. 2.5 million herds of cattle are dead. There is danger to wipe out our wildlife. And we are having meetings to look for short-term solutions, mid-term and long-term. I want to appeal to all of you to give a hand to the people of Kenya. Tomorrow we have an engagement with our development partners and our business leaders. And I'll extend an invitation to about 10 people from the chamber to represent you so that we agree first on the short-term interventions, which is to mobilize money and food for the people of Kenya. When your leaders come back to you, I want to appeal to you with a lot of humility. If you can afford 100,000, 1 million shillings, 2 million, 3 million, whatever you can, please, let's put the resources together so that we join our development partners, because charity begins at home. Even as we talk to the foreigners to assist us, we must have a local effort. So when that appeal comes, please give us whatever you can in terms of cash, in terms of food, through the Red Cross and other mechanisms that we shall create that are credible and transparent so that we save life. It will be unfortunate if we lost a single life of a Kenyan when you have some little money somewhere that you can be able to put to that use. And you business people, because of the president's commitment to turn around the economy and make business thrive, he gave you the best. Moses Kuria, make use of him. Make use of him. He has the energy, he has the passion, he has the drive. And this guy, Moses Kuria, was misunderstood. He had too much energy and nobody was using him. So he had to do other things to keep busy. The president has now deployed him appropriately and positively. So please make use of him. Finally, mimi sitaki niharibu hii mkutano, lakini mimi nauliza swali moja. Ama niwache nitaharibu? Niulize? Mtanijibu? Sasa nyinyi, surely, even if you believed that we are useless, the way you had been told, na hiyo uongo yote na fitina na propaganda, ati sisi tutaharibu biashara, tutapeleka mahasula nini, wale walikuwa namwambia, the alternative they were giving you, tuseme ukweli, hao wangeweza kuamuka mapema kuja kwa hii mkutano? Tuambiane ukweli. Surely, let's be truthful. So hata nyinyi mlituangusha. Because surely, the way the economy of this country is, you need somebody even with energy. Energy, leave alone other things. Energy to do the right thing and to make sure that we get moving. So another day, join the people of Kenya in making the right decision. With those very many remarks, it's now my privilege to present to you a great man whom we have given the responsibility to turn around the economy of this country, President William Samoei Ruto. You are President.
Asanteni sana. Let's take our seats. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Mr. Deputy President, for those kind remarks. The Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry leadership, Minister President, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this roundtable aims to shed more light, clear more pathways, and generate solutions that enable our business community engage more robustly in sustainable, incremental, and mutually beneficial exchange. We will focus mainly on the digital and creative economy, manufacturing, business environment, climate change, and agriculture. It will become clear that these issues align with the urgent deliverables set out in our plan for rapid social transformation of our country. Therefore, they resonate powerfully with our government's agenda. Stakeholders are clear, listening to them most of this morning, that they want to see the digitization and automation of transactions in order to take more economic activities to the domain of the digital economy. Towards this end, export documents will be digitized to reduce transaction costs, and business information will also be digitized and consolidated in an integrated portal. And Moses Kuria here has the brief on how to go about it. There is also a strong request to reduce tariffs on digital products, not only to lower cost, but also increase incentives for developers, as well as traders and consumers. And I listened to Magdalene, she spoke so passionately about that. And to strengthen the sector through education, skills, and training, we shall have a strong program to support the establishment of innovation hubs for the development of skills, talent, and incubation of startups, and the whole array of services and funding instruments, from funding startups to making sure that we have venture capital so that we can do more research and more trials of what works. We will also deepen the teaching of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and entrench an apprenticeship framework in the education curriculum. I have already instructed the ministry in the TVET sector to make sure that our TVETs are made technology compliant and more apprenticeship and more industrial training and industrial attachment is carried out as a means of equipping our young people with the skills that can make them job creators. The truth is that we are living in the digital age, and e-commerce is a big part of our economic reality. Consequently, it is important that we empower small businesses to thrive in the online marketplace. Our first order of business is to develop a policy framework to protect and support youth in the creative economy. This entails facilitation and capacity building of mainly youth-owned MSMEs. And as I said earlier, that is precisely why I pronounce myself on the creative economy under the Ministry of ICT and having a standalone ministry for SMEs, because this is the sector that will turn around, in my respectful view, our economy. The second related agenda is the urgent need to lay down MSME-friendly consumer protection and intellectual property frameworks. Through collaboration with county governments, we also intend to refurbish and equip existing facilities. And I'm grateful that many county governments are now volunteering facilities for us to work together with them so that we can modernize facilities which have been neglected or degraded into modern recreational centers and where youth can train, can learn, practice, and generate incomes from showcasing their talent. As it pertains to manufacturing, MSMEs must be supported to participate in supply and value chains through establishment of processing plants and common shared facilities. The cost of production must also be lowered significantly through lower energy and input costs and a more supportive tax regime. As I have said, our tea, we are selling 95% of our tea in a semi-processed state. And I have said that we are going to have a common user facility in Mombasa at the Dongo Kudu complex so that we can begin the journey to add value to all our teas, create jobs, and access better value for our farmers. It is also essential to develop a sound and competitive industrial knowledge base by entrenching research and development of facilities and training SMEs on appropriate technology, new and cost-effective machinery, as was said by my good friend from the Juakali sector, that indeed we can develop appropriate, effective machinery locally, working with our Juakali sector. This is especially urgent in the agricultural sector, which can unlock tremendous new potential merely by deepening technology penetration. Finally, it is time to upgrade current markets to serve as modern manufacturing centers, complete with shared facilities for small businesses to enable them produce consistently at competitive rates. And I have committed that we are going to modernize our markets countrywide, starting with 20 markets in the city of Nairobi, to be able to ensure that our business people have habitable, decent, healthy environment to carry out their business. And I confirm that there exist promising opportunities for the private sector to invest in key development projects in various sectors under the PPP model, and we will deliberately create opportunities for the private sector to tap into key development projects through this partnership. A case in point is our housing program. We have said deliberately that 40% of all our investments and work under the affordable housing plan will be done by micro and small enterprises in the Juakali sector and other sectors. And already they have demonstrated capacity to do it. In one project alone in Kibra, the Juakali sector will take 40% of the cost of that project by doing doors, windows, hinges, and all the other products. And we have already aligned them with a TVET so that they can be able to improve the quality of their product. Because of all these activities, we are looking forward to, and it will be essential to assure all our stakeholders of consistency and integrity in the market, as was said ably by Kiprono here. I have just returned from COP27 at Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt, where I marketed Kenya's green credentials. Apart from our clean power generation from hydro, geothermal, wind, and solar, we are aiming to secure a global leadership position in carbon adaptation through an unprecedented drive to grow 15 billion trees in the next decade. And I look forward to the partnership of the Chamber in this endeavor. We also have the intention of following through with our e-mobility and renewable energy, as I mentioned to the Juakali here, that we will work with them on e-mobility to change, to refabricate all our e-mobility tools so that we can be able to transit from dirty energy. In addition, we will invest in constructing shared solar-powered cold storage units to reduce post-harvest losses, increase agricultural productivity, and protect farm incomes. Unlocking the true potential of MSMEs in our economy demands that we all collaborate with the private sector. Working together, we will create new opportunities that will transform our economy and our country. And I want to ask all the players working together, synergized, and we will provide the necessary space for all of us to contribute our ideas. And we believe that always a good idea should be able to give way to a better idea. That's how we can move together in unison. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you for finding time for this engagement. I value this engagement, and I look forward to many more as we look into the future. Tomorrow, I will be having another engagement with our pension schemes, the people who decide on our savings, again, to be able to work with them to build our savings culture, to secure our present with investments, and to secure our future with pensions. Again, I look forward, as Moses said, working with you to make it easy for business to pay taxes, to make it convenient for business to pay taxes. We will not engage in the business of harassment of our business people to pay taxes. We want to make paying taxes seamless, convenient, and easy for business, because that is how we are going to create the necessary partnership that will enable us deliver public goods using taxes and create an environment for the private sector to create wealth and provide the resources for us to grow our economy and develop our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. The Chamber would wish Your Excellency to present Your Excellency with a gift as a memento for this great occasion. Niombe tulete, request the Chamber President, First Vice President, Second Vice President, Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria to join us, and Your Excellency, the Deputy President, to join us as we present this gift to His Excellency the President, the African Eagle, soaring high in the skies, like our businesses and like Kenya will soar high. There we have it, a gift to His Excellency the President. They also present some copy of the books by the Chamber of Commerce. They also present the books to Your Excellency, as I also invite the board after this to join for one photo opportunity. The board, we move quickly to the back so that we have a photo opportunity with His Excellency the President. Kindly, the board members, quickly. The board. There we have it, a photo of His Excellency the President, His Excellency the Deputy President, and the leadership of the Chamber. Asante. I request all of us now to retreat, and we be upstanding for the national anthem. We allow His Excellency the President to take the salute for the national anthem, and then we allow His Excellency the President to leave at his pleasure. The national anthem, Your Excellency. We all remain upstanding as His Excellency the President leaves at his pleasure. Kindly, our process continues. We allow His Excellency to leave at his pleasure. We remain upstanding.
town that has been crafted, developed towards meeting the needs of the different women that we have, the different segments.
Some activities before we officially go for lunch. The leadership of Chamber is kindly requesting you all, the delegates, invited guests, our patron members, to remain seated. We have some businesses to really conduct before we break for lunch. Tafadhalini.
It is the largest.
Don't leave yet. We are requesting you just to come back to the hall so that we complete some unfinished business. Tafadhalini.
The growth of Kenya's economy is supported by the presence of a vibrant private sector, good infrastructure, technological advancement, ease of doing business, and availability of human capital. The role of the private sector in Kenya's economy cannot be understated. Statistics indicate that this sector contributes over 80% of the GDP. The major growth sectors include trade, hospitality, agriculture, manufacturing, finance, insurance, and real estate. The Kenya National Chambers of Commerce and Industry is responsible for improving the local business environment and strengthening communities through advocacy, networking, and campaigning. They create an easy link of communication for business owners to connect with governing bodies. The membership of KNCCI constitutes small micro enterprises, MSCs, medium and large enterprises. The key functions carried out by the Chamber include promote trade within and outside Kenya, establish and organize finance, trade and industrial exhibitions. The Chamber organizes foreign trade missions for its members, which offer learning and growth opportunities and market linkages. The Chamber holds talks with various embassies to discuss business opportunities available in their respective countries. KNCCI has partnered up with institutions of higher learning such as Kabarak and more universities to support the business community aimed at filling gaps that can turn to opportunities. Through this, the Chamber has been able to develop joint enterprise industrial attachment and internship programs for the students to support the small, micro and medium enterprises, SMEs, in growing their businesses. KNCCI has entered into partnerships with different financial institutions. We have locally manufactured cars like Mobius Motors and other several motor vehicle assemblies who are our members. KNCCI recognizes the role EPZ SME development programs. Textile SMEs in EPZ generate job opportunities to many Kenyans and contributes 18% of GDP to the national economy. The Spirit of Sustainable Blue Economy Plan, as highlighted in the medium-term plan of Kenya Vision 2030, where KNCCI advocates to our members to promote sustainable use of coastal and inland water resources. KNCCI exposes its members in agriculture, food and processing value chains such as coffee, tea, macadamia, avocado, flowers, maize and fruits to huge numbers of investors. We encourage our members in the agriculture sector to take advantage of large-scale production of agricultural inputs, agricultural equipment, and agricultural support services. Konza being a smart city, KNCCI lauds the progress of the project and the opportunities available for SMEs. Internet has opened up a vast arena for providing more opportunities for businesses, particularly SMEs, to sell their products and services to a global audience and encourages them to adopt new technologies to meet their unique business requirements. KNCCI nurtures innovations by the youth. This encourages synergy efforts that ensures efficient sensitization of youth and women on all the available funds. For example, the Youth Enterprise Fund, Women Enterprise Fund, and Uwezo Fund. Private sector contributes to a bigger percentage in the tourism sector, which has been considered as an economic boon in Kenya, as it's the largest contributor in the country's foreign exchange earnings. As the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry aims to create a unified and single voice for the private sector so as to influence public policy. It is a powerful force that can add and has helped shape the future.
DTB Bank introduced a new forum for women. And I remember the first time I came, I asked them for an order. I didn't think they'd actually give me an order because one, I had not started banking with them and I don't know anybody. I got an order from DTB Bank worth 2.5 million. I did 3,000 bags and 3,000 t-shirts, branded DTB. I'm proud to say that I was given my first deposit, so I was able to do the job without going to ask for help anywhere or for a loan.
The Sauti ya Mama Forum, women in business, women from the grassroots. We were having conversations around how do we empower them in terms of how they grow their businesses, financial literacy, as well as enlightening them on how they can access, e.g. the credit guarantee scheme. Zawadi is an exciting account, is an interest earning account, an account that does not attract any charges whatsoever. It's an account that has been crafted, developed towards meeting the needs of the different women that we have, the different segments.
We are a business defined by bravery, passion, and readiness. Born of the most diverse continent, and so our identity holds true to this, built with one principle in mind: start with iconic. So what is iconic about our African context? Red, rich, warm, and symbolic. It is in our lands, our skies, our stories, and is woven into the fabric of our cultures and nations. A sense of community like no other. We pull together through thick and thin because we are stronger and more resilient together. This builds networks, connections, and spheres of influence that draw their power from people. We are a continent, a people, and a business whose strength comes from the connections between infinite parts, unified by our purpose to bring possibility to life. We are Absa, and our meaning and expression is inspired by Africa. We simplified our core shapes, replacing old austerity with something altogether more human, refining it to a contemporary and cohesive foundation. We shifted our corporate red from one that was harsh and cold to one that is warm and human, and unleashed a powerful spectrum, African to its core. One that can express diverse meaning and humanity in all its forms. We are Absa, and this is our icon. It grounds us and expresses our humanity, strength, and balance. We create the waves of change. We inspire infinite possibility. And through this, we are bringing Africa into Absa. We make meaning with the stories we tell and have gestures that help us tell these stories, conveying meaning that requires no words. Inclusive, expressive, infinite, intimate, exuberant, epic, or quietly understated, youthful, or fun, premium, redefined, artful, always with people at the heart. It's a feeling. Let us go boldly into the future. We are Absa. We bring possibility to life.
Kwa majina naitwa Harrison Chege. Nilizaliwa kule Katondo, lakini kazi nafanyia huku Kiganja Thika, na hii area inajulikana kama Kimorori. Nafanya kazi ya duka na specialize na wholesale. Nilianza mwaka wa December 2017. Niliplan for 1 year. Dari ilikuwa 2017 January. Hapo sasa nilianza sasa ku dream, yani mambo ya kuweka duka. Nilikuwa nafanya kazi ya driver, nilikuwa naendesha magari ya mchanga. So nikaweza kuweka pesa kidogo ya kuanza business at the end of the year. So ni kitu nilikuwa nimeplan. So wakati December ilifika sasa nikaamua sasa ni kuanza kazi. Hapo ndio nilienda kwa my mom, akona duka kule Ruiru, akanisupport na stock ya 60,000. Sasa wakati nilianza ile 60,000 ilikuwa kidogo. So nilikuwa naremewa hapa na pale. Kwa hiyo unakuta saa zingine nataka customer ni wengi na wanataka vitu, lakini unakuta sina saa zingine vitu ama sina pesa ya kununua. Maana ile 60,000 ilikuwa mbele na nyuma. So I opted kwenda Equity. Kabla nimalize shule, hiyo mwaka wa mwisho niliingia nikafungua account ya Equity. So hiyo account nilikuwa nimeitumia sana kulipa watu huku. Sana sana nilifurahia pale ambapo nikitumia mteja wa mwenye ameniletea vitu, nikimtumia pesa sikuwa nakatwa kitu. So through that ndio account yangu iliweza kukua. Nikakuwa sasa nataka kuinua ikue duka kubwa, ndio at least pia mapato ikue mingi na niweze kuketa all my bills. Waliweza kunipatia loan na guarantors waliniambia nini nitafute. So the guarantors haikuwa na shida sababu ndio garantiwa na my mom na babishta wake. Kwangu uhusiano wangu na Equity umedumu sana na nimefurahia sana kufanya kazi na Equity sababu kwanza ni wao wamenishikilia kibiashara, kifedha, ni wao wananipea loan. Kutoka kwa loan wakanipea advices, kuna masomo ambayo tuliweza kwenda training, wamenifunza jinsi ya run my business. Vitu mingi ambazo maybe unajua sisi kusomea biashara nikiwa shuleni. So hao ndio wamekuwa na mimi kwa hii safari na wame make it easier for me hata kulipa hiyo loan wamenipea without struggle, na nikaweza hata kupanuka zaidi. Equity walinipea training ambazo zilikuwa ni muhimu sana na ambazo zimenisaidia hadi wa leo kuendelesha hii biashara yangu. Moja ya ilikuwa ni mambo ya kufanya budgeting, ndio niweze kuitisha zile bidhaa ambazo naweza kulipa kwa wakati huo. Kulikuwa na pia record keeping na debt management. Pale kwa record keeping imenisaidia sana sababu niko na mpaka ya e-slip ambao naweka rekodi zangu kwa app. Niko na details za kila customer na venye anachukuanga orders kwangu. Through that training nimesaidika sana sababu kitambo ungekuta kwamba deni mingi ningekuwa na sahau, wengine hata nakosa kuandika. So hizo zinakuwa ni kupotelea na hiyo ni loss kwa business yangu. So wakati nilichukua loan ya Equity nikaandika kijana moja, tukafanya na yeye, then afterward nimekuja nikaandika mwingine mmoja. So kwa sasa niko na familia mbili ambazo zinapata mapato yao kutoka kwa kazi yangu. Everything is possible. With all this training nimeweza kupitia, ina make my life to be very easy. Mimi nikiwa kijana nikianza hivi, nikiwa huko nikiwa konda ama nikiwa dere, siku imagine kwamba ningekuwa kama like saizi niko saizi. Sasa ile training imeweza kunifungua pia akili, nimeweza kuona vitu mingi. Na vitu mingi pia nimeona ni achievable. Watu wengi husema ati kwenda kwa bank kuborrow loans ati hiyo ni kama kujitia kitanzi. Most of people kwenye huwa wanapotea ni pale wanachukua loan, hiyo loan wanadivert kwa kazi zingine other than the intended purpose ya kuchukua hiyo loan. Mtu mwenye maybe loans zinamkazia ni wakati umedivert hiyo pesa yenyewe umepewa ya biashara, badala uiweke kwa biashara unaidivert kwa mahali kwingine. In the next 5 years, I'll be somewhere very far. Cause nataka ni increase wasee wa job. Venye naenda tu nikipata support kwa Equity, nataka nijione nikiwa na go down ama nikuwe a very big supplier.
So, this is where it all began. Those styles weren't working.
So we made something better.
And you didn't stop there.
We knew we weren't changing the world with our clothes, but the women who wear them might.
And you went from playing with dolls
To becoming a fashion powerhouse.
We see you're great. Now let's elevate it with Absa Business Banking. Speak to us about how we can help you get it done. That's Africanacity. That's Absa.
My name is Chepkemoi Magdalene. I'm the founder and the executive director at EldoHub. EldoHub is an organization which is based in Eldoret in the North Rift Western region of Kenya. Our main focus is to support youth and women by preparing them to benefit from the opportunities the digital economy offers, with a focus on job creation, employability skills, or rather skills development, and also digital transformation of MSMEs. On the entrepreneurial front, we also realize there are so many businesses who are struggling to get the right people to help them in their digital transformation. This is where we come in by providing them with the right skills, and this will bring in the mutual value between the businesses.
I would like to thank EldoHub for this program, Digital Apprenticeship Program, that has been able to boost my career and also the career of other young tech professionals out there. And I think it's a very nice program whereby if you can be able to get mentorship and trainings as EldoHub has been able to do, this will be very good for each and every young talent that will be able to undergo the project.
I came to know about EldoHub in the year 2021 when they invited me to join the digitization of women-led business. And also I did another program called No Code, where I learned about how to code without using the coding language. Another program that I benefited through EldoHub was the WeDo. WeDo was able to help us with funding, where we are able to grow our business, and we were able to grow from 2 employees to 5 now, and we thank EldoHub for that.
Through our various training programs, we have trained close to 3,000 young women, youth, within schools, out of school, and even including kids through the Kids Bootcamp.
I want to invite like-minded organizations and individuals to support us in our journey of ensuring that we reach a large number of unemployed youth by connecting them to employment and also ensuring that they have access to job skills.
Head of Information Technology at Inuka Africa Limited. Inuka Africa is a microfinance company. Analytics project that we undertook with the JTP helped us gain insights on this data so that we see where we make our profits, where we make losses, which products are more attractive than others, so you're taking data from a wide array of sources and actually making sense out of said data.
My name is Natasha Kalinga. I'm the Business Development Lead and Community Manager at 21C Skills Africa. This is a Liquid Labs initiative, which is a sub-brand of Liquid Intelligent Technologies, formerly known as Liquid Telecom. Firstly, was very humbling and more importantly, a learning experience for me. It was the first time that I was involved in a large program like this, and I had such a great time getting to know my mentee, Esther Waniki. We have such a great professional working relationship even till this date. We learned a lot from each other. We were able to share experiences. She was fresh out of university, so she had kind of just been placed in her first job. There was just a lot of sharing, a lot of experience that was gained on her part and mine as well.
The application process for me, it was fair enough, because the first initiative I took as an applicant was to apply it online, and then the program got back to me, and then the first step was maths pure logic assessment, of which I found it easy because it was more of brainstorming, and then the second step was a coding challenge, of which it had to take time and as well as your mind. So for me it was nice.
Just there seated at home, keeping my best foot forward, maintaining my GitHub repository, because skills will get you in, but soft skills will take you far. So one day I bumped into this poster on LinkedIn, and then I read on it, and then it's EldoHub. They say they're offering a program, 3 months program, and they'll be doing a mentorship program, technical mentorship as well, and then they'll also be catering for the guys who participate in that program. Then I was like, you're doing nothing, why don't you give this a shot? I got attached at WorkPay, and I was happy to join the team. It was really interesting, the welcoming from them.
I was placed at Africapu Limited, where I found the experience so good. At Africapu, I worked on a CRM hub. By participating in the program, I gained leadership skills, communication skills, teamwork skills, as well exploring my coding skills and networking skills.
I needed my technical skills to be, sharpened, of which I really got at WorkPay, because most of the time I would get one-on-one feedback with my seniors. Like for the front end, let's say for the front end engineer, I would schedule meetings like weekly just to get experience from them and get that feedback from them. Like, you need to improve on this. The coding styles that we're using are this. If you do this, then you'll be good. And then maybe sharing resources that you don't know how to do this. Then these are the resources that you need to work on.
Africapu Limited was pleased to offer me a temporary paid internship as an extension of the program by EldoHub and UK Tech Hub.
It's a program that I would really recommend anyone to get into, because what you gain, it's a skill that will stick in your life like for a very long time. I would schedule meetings like weekly just to get experience from them and get that feedback from them.
DocuBox is an organization that was created by filmmakers for filmmakers.
The programs that we started off with initially, mainly being able to give funds to feature-length documentary filmmakers. We now have the box, which deals a lot more with experimental short films, fiction films and the like.
For me, I found my calling because DocuBox, they've allowed me to be able to tell good stories, and those stories then be used as a tool to make a change.
They took a chance on me who had no background and said, you know what, let's teach you.
Hello, we are EcoBanner.
They use anything.
Sasa tukichinja kuku ninaeka hizo vitu.
Oh, nothing at all. To conceal a monthly natural cycle tied to the puberty cycle.
65%. To many of you, this is just a percentage, but this percentage represents the number of Kenyan girls and women who are affected by period poverty. The faces you see there are the faces of the dreamers, the doctors, the entrepreneurs, and the future investors who use anything from cow dung, chicken feathers, soil, rags as their best definition of sanitary towels. And that's why we are here today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you all to EcoBana, a simple, cost-effective, biodegradable, and hygienic sanitary towels made from banana fibers. An average Kenyan family spends 0.8.
The Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry KNCCI was established in 1965 with a mandate to protect and develop the interests of the business community. KNCCI is registered as a not-for-profit private company limited by guarantee under the Companies Act Chapter 486 of the laws of Kenya. The chamber operates on 4 pillars: policy and advocacy, trade development, SME development, county development. The pillars are supported by 3 foundations, also known as enablers, namely membership and communication, institutional excellence, networking, and partnership. The membership of KNCCI constitutes small, micro, medium, and large enterprises. Our vision at KNCCI is a vibrant and prosperous business community. Our mission is to facilitate and promote a sustainable business environment for economic growth and prosperity. Rallying cry, growing your business together. How to apply for a KNCCI membership step by step. First, visit our website www.kenyachamber.or.ke. Under Services tab, click COO Application. A new page will open. Click Register. There are 2 ways to register: as an individual and as a company. To register as an individual, please click Individual and fill your contact personal details: first name, last name, middle name, sex or gender, and email. Then fill in personal details: KRA PIN number, national ID number, passport number, personal email, personal mobile, personal telephone, postal address, postal code, location, and physical address. Click Next. Fill in your account details. Describe your product or service. County, that is the KNCCI headquarters. The category, for example, platinum member. Sector, that is sector of your operation. Duration of application. And counties you operate under with your service and products are available. Attach your KRA PIN and national ID or your passport. Click Submit. Verification of details and approval will be done by the chamber staff. You will then receive notification of invoice amount to be paid.